Okay, so when I first import all of my images into Narrative Select, it doesn't take very long at all. It's just reading them off the selected drive and then it's going to score them. So it only takes a few minutes. The difference between Narrative Select and Aftershoot, I trialed both of them and I seem to just prefer Narrative Select after a little bit of time. And now that's just really what I'm used to. Aftershoot asked me to go back and try them again, and I did. And it's just like it feels really foreign to me. I also don't like that they're making the selections for me because I feel like I still need to go through and look at every image. So it just feels like a little bit clunky for me because it's like it's already done all this work and then it's like up to me to go back and review and potentially undo their choices. So again, though, I've gotten used to how I navigate through Narrative Select, so I think that's why Aftershoot just feels clunky to me. So the Narrative Select is going to go through and score everything. So for my first pass, what I do is I group them. I choose to view them via these sets. Narrative Select makes the sets for me. They're like the scenes. I don't think there's a way to adjust the scenes. I wish sometimes I could split a big scene into a smaller scene, but I like it for what it does. So my first pass, it's going to be in scene rank order. My first pass, I'm going to select between 1 and 2 and sometimes an X. The X is just if I'm deleting something. I'm only deleting things if they're like totally out of focus. All the eyes are closed. There's no chance in hell I would ever need to pull that image again. When I'm going through the first time, it's 1 or 2. 1 means I'm not selecting it. 2 means it passes. My second pass, I'm going to go through all of the 2s and decide which is getting upgraded to a 3 or potentially a 4, every now and then a 5. So when I'm done, my original folder, I'm going to keep everything essentially. But when I import into Lightroom, I'm only going to import 2 through 5. That way, on my big drive, I can keep the ones just in case anybody were to come back and say, like, oh, hey, I'm looking for this specific person. I don't know. It's never going to happen. It's if I get subpoenaed in a murder trial and I need to go back, I still have the images. But in Lightroom, I'm only going to import 2 through 5. 2 means I took it and it's, in there. 3 means it's going to be in the gallery that gets delivered. 4 is normally what I use for like sneak peeks. So when I'm going through, I can quickly do a 4 if I know I want to do it as a sneak peek. 5 is typically like, oh my God, I love it. It's like portfolio worthy. I want to put it on the website, that kind of thing. So that's really reserved. It's a little bit more infrequent. So my first pass, I'm going through and I'm just selecting between 1 and 2. And you can see, I like this too because left and right will go through each picture, down and up will jump to the next scene. So you can see here on the side how they're grouped into scenes. Where you can really see where this is beneficial would be when you get into more of the group photos. So when I hop down to grooms here, this set is going to have 20 photos. So my first pass, I am looking at them based on what Narrative Select is saying is their choice for the best. So all of these have the little green icons and it's telling me eyes fully open, great focus. And they're going to be grouped in this order. So what I love about the group photos is I can make my choices over here very quickly because I know this is the cream of the crop over here. So I'm going to go through and do 2 1 2 1, that kind of thing, and I pick my favorites marked with 2s. So the ones I'm not deleting, but I'm just not selecting them. And why I like this is because I know at the very top these are going to be the best. When you get down to here, it's automatically putting the less desirable photos towards the bottom. So you can see they only scored this a 3. And it's going to say here it's undesirable pick. And so you can see here eyes partially open, soft focus. Over here, eyes partially open, soft focus. The other thing that I like is when I'm looking at a group, I can go into survey mode and it's going to show me all of the photos. When there's a bunch like this, it's not always as helpful. If you have 4 or 5, it's a little bit easier to kind of see what you're looking at from these thumbnails. but you can size this. And then also what I love is you can hit this to do face compare. So I can quickly go in and see, you know, what I'm liking or not. And then from here, I can X out. Like, there's no way I'm ever going to use this photo. So I'm going to delete that one. But then I can see here real quickly, what all these faces look like. So I do my first pass and I assign everybody my 2s and 1s. And once I've gone through everything, I turn off the 1 star. So I'm only looking at the 2s and 3s and up. And then I will go through the 2s and decide whether I want to upgrade them to a 3. When I do that second pass, that's when I will switch over to the time order. And I do that just to get a different view and to make sure I didn't miss anything. But what I find is that typically I still have all of my favorites and I didn't miss anything, but it's just like another way to kind of check it. So here, my first pass, I'm going to be doing this first look, 30 images in scene. And so I'm seeing the best at the top and then these down here. And the thing with AI and the culling is that with weddings, people say just because someone has closed eyes doesn't mean that you don't want it. And it's true. I know in Aftershoot, you can toggle that on and off where it says like, don't eliminate closed eyes because it might just be an emotional moment and it's not a headshot. So it will rank these. And you can see here, it's saying laughing and mid blink, but good focus, but it still said, you know, it's an undesirable pick. So when I'm going through, I'm able to pick my favorites. And after here's these 20, where's my, like this is 45. This is just way too many. Oh, look at him crying. But you can see like this ended up being one of my favorites. And as you go down, they're mostly going to be more, you know, ones at the end. But so for, let's see, this one, when I go through it initially, like this has a score of 10. I liked this one better because I could see his face, but I go through and I do that first pass. I'm 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. Every now and then I'll break my routine and hit 3 just because I know that I really like that one there. I like that I can see his face in this, her finger. I just know that that's going to be one of my selects, but I do sometimes throw myself off because then I start going 3 and 2 because I'm out of my routine. So I try to quickly get back to the 2 and 1. So as I go through these, you know, they're not in order, so they're kind of jumping around. So when I go back the second time, I'm only looking at my 2s. So if I turn off the 1s, oh, that jumps down really fast. So if I'm only looking at my, oh wait, did I do that wrong? First look with the kids. Okay, so back to these guys. So now I'm only looking at my 2s, but instead of putting them in the in-scene rank, I'm going to switch them over to chronological. So you can see now, the first one I took had one of the lowest rankings. And the other thing is you can just click here to like zoom in to see what you got going on. But now I'm going to go through here and I'm doing between my 2s and my 3s. And I'm saying like, all right, of these initial selects, what do I really want to keep? So then I'll go through here and in chronological order, I can see like, okay, eyes open, a little bit closed, open. So I can see like in this order, I can see like her teardrop falling down on her cheek. So I can make sure I have that like in the optimal position because it's going in chronological order. Whereas if I'm going in the in-scene rank, I'll think I have like the best position of the teardrop, but it's like low, high, lower, back to the top. Same thing with like a dip. Like you'll think you'll have like the best point of the dip when you're going in the in-scene ranking order, but it's bouncing around. And then when I switch to chronological, I can see him go all the way down and then all the way back up. So I like to do that for my second pass, just so I know that I'm getting all that. So then I rank those to threes. Three is typically what I'm expecting to put in their album. And then, like I said, four is going to be like sneak peeks. And then fives would be like my preferred. So with this method, I should be able to do it in 2 passes. I go through first and I just kind of do like a yes or a no. And then my second pass, I'm doing, okay, of my keepers, what are the best of the best? So that's the long-winded version of how I cull. Some people like to cull backwards, and that might work for certain things. I haven't found that I like it for weddings. There might be a certain time in the wedding, like receptions, reception dancing, like that section might be nice to cull backwards because like at the end of the night forward. Some people like that. Some people they just cull in. So they're just going through and picking what they're going to keep. But again, for me, I want to make sure everything has a score so that I know I've looked at it. Because if I'm going through and just picking keep, when I'm done, how do I know that I looked at every picture? Because I don't know, typically I'm not able to do like one full pass in one sitting. So I need to know that I put eyes on every picture. And then, like I said, if it has an X, I'll delete it. So these are then all my deleteds, and I can just take a look at them. And obviously, they're all junk, so I'm okay to delete those. And when I delete those, they're not even going to make it onto my other hard drive. I want to show an example of the beauty of the face zoom. It's really great in some situations where you don't have a ton of faces and you're just trying to look for like minor differences. I guess this would work for, that's just too many right there. So say you got 12 here, but they're crying in this one. All right, we got 10 here. So if I go to survey mode, that's going to show me all of these. So like from here, I can quickly, click if I know, oh, I definitely don't want this one. And if I have it filtered so that I'm only looking 2 and up and I mark this as a 1, it's going to drop out of here. Then the other thing I can do is quickly go to my face zooms so I can real fast just see here. So like for this guy, he's pretty soft. The focus here is soft. So I'm only going to want one of these. She's got an 8, she's got a 9. So over here, I'm going to mark this as a 1. And then now I'm down to just these 2. And so they're both pretty much the same. So I can just mark this one as 1. And then I can click back over out to here and see those guys. So it's nice to be able to quickly zoom in. It's good for like, this might be too many people, but I can do my survey mode here so I can quickly see from like a bigger area. If there's like something over here that obviously I'm not going to want, I could toggle it off. But then if I want to quickly zoom in on faces, I can see here. So I would like eliminate this one. Oh, he's looking down, eliminate that one. But narrative selects also already told me. I don't even have to actually look at the pictures to see what's not going to make the cut. And those were already marked as to delete. Let's see. So when I'm doing like the wide, I can see, body positioning. If there's something I don't like, I can quickly eliminate that. And then I can do my quick zoom, see what I'm working with here. So this is what I like because, all right, here I can see 3 red squares. So I would quickly eliminate that one. So it just really helps to narrow it down. So let me see if I am only looking at my 2s and 3s. So like these are all okay. She's a little soft there. So like if I change this to a 1, then it just drops out. And then, so this can be helpful when I'm looking at like 5 images. And I'm trying to just narrow it down when they kind of are all like for group photos, when they all look the same, it's so helpful to be able to just do like a quick zoom in. And then also, if you've got it filtered, they're dropping off. When you're marking it down to a one, then it just disappears from the screen. So it's really, you can see I haven't even finished my first pass over here. So I've got 1,300 that haven't been ranked yet. So that's why I like Narrative Select. I would show you Aftershoot, but I don't even know if it's still running since I stopped using it.